Now in this video today, I'm going to walk you through what exactly a VA is. I'm going to identify the tasks that VAs can do and share with you what they do in my business. I'm going to talk about the job descriptions and I'm going to give you one for free and how it's going to help your business. And then also about where you can find, hire, and also how you can manage VAs as well. And I'm going to give you all the actionable steps that you need so you can implement this strategy that I've used to scale my businesses to help you in yours as well. So let's get started. Now, first things first, what is a virtual assistant? Well, a VA or a virtual assistant is a remote worker, someone who handles tasks for you remotely or virtually, should we say. Could be things like data entry, customer support, social media management. Now, they're typically hired from countries overseas, usually in Asia or Latin America, because they're more cost effective. Now, for me, we hire in the Philippines, and you might ask, why the Philippines? Well, you can probably guess I speak English, and the Philippines have a really high standard of English. 94% of the population in the Philippines have a very good standard of English. They have a strong work ethic, they're loyal, and they're committed to working in your business, and they really enjoy working from home. And this works really well for my business, and it'll probably work well for yours too. Now, the other part of it is the fact that in Asia or even Latin America, and such as the Philippines, they're going to have a much lower cost of living, which means you can get lower labor costs and a highly educated workforce. For example, in our business, our starting rate for all VAs is about $3 per hour or $450 per month. Now, you might be asking who should be hiring a virtual assistant. If you're a business owner right now and you are overwhelmed with too much going on and not enough time in the day, and you've got repetitive tasks which take up time, then hiring a VA can be just perfect for you and can really help you to scale your business and get back more of that time. Now, on top of that, if you're an entrepreneur and you've got tasks which are maybe not strategic and very repetitive, and these are great tasks to outsource to a virtual assistant. Okay, so let's talk about hiring a VA. What does the process look like? Well, for you in your business, what you really want to be thinking about are what are the tasks you can outsource. What I like to do in my business is to spend maybe a couple of weeks identifying those tasks that I seem to do on a daily basis or maybe on a repetitive basis. These should be simple tasks which are taking up time, preferably a lot of time, that you can give to someone who they can do for you. And what you really want to be thinking about is prioritizing your tasks on your calendar, for example, from the highest value to the lowest value. Now, let's give you an example of some of the things that you may want to outsource which are pretty low value. Email management, maybe appointment scheduling, maybe social media posting. And within our business, we do product sourcing. Now, product sourcing is actually a high value task, but it's a task that we can actually hire people to do and continue to train them because it's such a key part of what we do. Now, once you kind of understand the tasks that you want to outsource, that you're looking to say, pass to a virtual assistant, what does the process look like? So what do? We create standard operating procedures, SOPs. And I'll show you now an example of one of the processes or SOPs that we have, which documents the way we operate. So one of the tasks that we do in our business is sales and service, which is our customer service within FastTrackFBA. And this is a process that we have. So really, really simple. We have what you need to do. It's really bullet pointed. You need to close the chats here, go to Zoho Desk, close all these chats, then respond to the open tickets, and then close all the tickets after you've responded to them, then go through social media channels, reply to them, and then finally accept people into our Facebook groups, and then post on our internal chat that you've actually done the work. Now, we have all the links going to the right places, but to also help understand how to do the actual tasks, we've recorded videos, which you can see here, for each of the sections so that someone can watch me doing those processes when they come in to train. So for every single process that we have, we not only record what you need to do, we also record videos that are going to help us out. And using tools such as Google Docs, for example, to record what a process needs to be, and then also Loom to actually capture the details of the instructions that need to happen. And if you do it 3 times each process, it can just make it so easy for a new VA to come in and take over the task. Now, what I strongly recommend is doing step-by-step videos like I've done there for each individual section. And then on top of that, what I've actually done is recorded the whole videos of me doing the whole process in one go. Now, this way you can see a lot of examples of me doing the work, and when you hire someone to do it, they can obviously watch you doing each individual part or watch the whole process as well. This just makes it really, really simple. Now, once we've got a good idea of what are the processes that we want to do, we want to ensure that we're now going to be looking to hire the right person. So this is where you want to construct a clear job description. And I'll give an example now of the job description that we've got for a product sourcer. Now, in our business, this is finding profitable products for Amazon resellers, and we call them product sourcers. So right now you can see here on the screen, I've just loaded up our product sourcer job description, and it gives you a really good understanding of what we're looking for. So we've already gone through the process processes, we understand what they need to be doing. Now we can actually put that into our job description. So here we talk about key headline, generally just like a few sentences about what the role is. And then we also go into a little bit more detail, and then we break down the duties. And then also we break down the requirements that we're looking for the individual. And then any specific tools, such as the computer, the i5 and the 8 gig RAM, that's a really important thing. And then also we talk about what we're offering, what's the salary expectation, and how the working hours are as well. Now, this is really important because when we post on job boards or on social media, we're going to be able to share this job description, which is going to help out and allow the VAs to know that this is going to be the right job for them. Now, my top tip for you is don't try and create specific job titles. Make them very generic. You can make them specific when you hire, but right now when you're getting candidates to apply for your job, you want them very generic so people go, I know what that job is, I'll do it, and they'll be interested. Now, this way you're going to attract way more candidates. Now, the next question you might be asking is, where do I actually find VAs? So once you've got your job description, posting online to attract the right candidates is going to be really important. So let me go through a couple of platforms that we've used, which have really helped out, and how you can use that as well. Now, the first one I'd really recommend and having a look at is Onboarding. You do have to pay a fee for this. It's not very much, but you can post out to the candidates on the job board, and it's really, really helpful to just post. Now, you can also browse candidates, like you can see here. You can literally look for FBA sources, for example, if you're doing that for Amazon. This is where you can get started looking for candidates. Now, number two, you can also look at Upwork. Upwork is a lot more, should we say, specialized. I generally find the prices are a little bit higher, and you're paying on a per gig basis, or obviously a monthly fee if you're going to use that. But you're not really going to look for candidates. It's more of a contractor arrangement, but Upwork can be really good if you're looking for specific people with really good skill sets. Obviously, you can use them as well. Now, the next one you can look at is Fiverr. Fiverr is great for hiring people to do short-term work, and what you can actually do is then once you've tested them short-term, you can then hire them off the platform, just like you could with Upwork, to actually get them working for you and directly paying them. This way you're not paying fees for platforms like Upwork or Fiverr, which is just going to reduce your cost down and make it more cost effective. Now, another option you can do are things like Facebook groups. This can work really well where there are big groups of virtual assistants available and they are looking for jobs. So therefore you can post your job description in there, and you can have a look at people's social media profiles, which can be really, really useful to just filtering out the right kind of candidates and replying to messages very quickly for candidates who are interested. Now, my top tip for you, post across multiple platforms. You really want to maximize the visibility of your job posting to attract the best candidates. So not only post on all the platforms, but maybe go back and repost, update, reply to comments if that's something that you're getting, and you want to make sure you're getting the best candidates. So important. Now let's talk about screening and interviewing candidates. Now, once you've posted your job description out there, you've probably got a short list of candidates who are interested. How do we screen them? There are many ways you can do this. Well, the one thing that I generally like to do is, if the role I'm looking for, where I'm going to get a lot of applicants, a very generic role, things like admin VA, then what I might do is put them through an automated screening process using something like a Google form, where I get them to complete a form with some really multiple choice questions, and I can score it very quickly and shortlist. If it's a little bit more in depth and I'm likely to get that many candidates, then what I might do is move to the second stage, which is getting people to record a Loom video of themselves. Really, you're looking like 1 to 2 minutes just talking about who they are and how they come across. The reason why I like this is because you get to see them straight away. You can see the standard of English. You can see how they can follow instructions. It can be so helpful in just seeing. And the fact that a lot of people won't actually do the Loom videos because they're just literally applying for, should we say, jobs, spamming their CVs everywhere. What you're really looking for is people just to take a few minutes out of their day to apply. This can really help you out. Now, another top tip you can do is in websites like onlinejobs.ph, what you can actually say is, when you're applying for the job, in the subject line of the email, make sure you put your favorite destination or your favorite food. And the idea behind this is that you're just going to see if they actually follow instructions. So it's a really easy way to filter out lots of candidates very quickly. But I do really like the Loom method. I find that that's actually a very quick way to shortlist, and you get to know the candidates a lot quicker. Now, once you've got a short list of candidates, you can really go down one of two routes. What I generally like to do is, if it's not a big list of candidates, I'll probably get on a quick call with them, see how they get along, ask some questions. This may take a little bit, like 30 minutes. We can book it in using something like Calendly, but the idea is you just want to get to know the candidates, check their CVs and see if they're going to be right. Then what I generally like to do is move them to a task. There's this great saying which I heard: I cannot work with you until I've worked with you. So what am I looking to do? I want them to do some of the work that I would expect them to do in the job. Now, if they're going to be a product sourcer, maybe I want them to record half an hour on Loom of them looking for products. Or if they're going to be a video editor, maybe they could be editing a short clip for me to see what they're like. Now, depending on the length, you may have this unpaid or paid, but what I like to think about is the best candidates will probably want to be paid, and I'll make that very clear as part of the recruitment process because I want to attract the best candidates. Now, what you may ask is the candidates complete a small unpaid task, and that can be really useful. Now, it's up to you whether you pay or not, but it's really up to you. Now, what you may do is ask the candidates to complete a small unpaid task, such as maybe analyzing a product or maybe doing a short edit on a video clip. But if you're really looking to understand the candidates to a better standard and see how good they are, again, I can't work with you until I've worked with you. I love that saying. Then what you might want to do is put them through a paid assessment. This can be really useful because you can actually see how good they are before you go through the hassle of onboarding, setting them up with everything else, only to find out they're not going to be right. So I definitely recommend that. Now, I did talk earlier on about interviewing, and I will just kind of go through that in a little bit more detail. So in our business, the way we operate is when we do interviews, we will do it on Google Meet, but you can use things like Zoom, and we'll definitely record all of the interviews. And something that's so important. Now, what you can also do is a couple of top questions I like to ask and understand is ask about their previous experience. I'll always go through their CV, and I'll also ask about why they left previous jobs. I found this really important. What I'm really trying to do at a fundamental level is understand why the person made decisions in the past, why they did that job, why they left, and also I'm trying to then figure out, is this job right for them? If it's a good match, then you know that they're going to stay and they're going to add value. But if it's not, they're probably not going to last very long. They're probably not going to add much value to your business. So just be mindful of that. During the interview as well, I'll also get them to jump on the screen share, and I want them to do a live internet speed test on the call, and I also want to see the computer specs. Again, we're looking for that i5 or greater, and again, 8 gig RAM. This is a really important thing. It doesn't matter how good they are, if their computer is not right, it just will slow them down too much. So that's so important. And then on top of that, I'm also going to ask where they're going on an individual level. I want to make sure their long-term goals match with where we're going, and that this business or this hire for us and this job for them is going to be a good win-win solution for both of us. And then finally, I'm looking for culture fit and skills communication. But again, record all this because sometimes it can be a lot to think about during the call, so you can watch it back. Now, the next part I'll talk about is making the hire. How do you actually do this? So once you've completed all your interviews and you find the person you like, you need to give them an offer letter. So what you're going to do is outline the job title, the responsibilities, the pay, the working hours, the expectations. Also include anything like bonuses that they're going to be getting. You don't have to outline them in full detail, just explain there is a bonus scheme and here's how it roughly works. And then also talk about what they're looking for. Now, on top of this, you want to put together a contract. So if the VA wants to accept the job opportunity, they can sign the contract and obviously you can start the process. So let me show you a contract that we've used in our business to help you out. So right here, we've got a contract that we use for all of our hires. And by the way, if you want to get this for free, just have a look down in the description. You can get a copy of it from me as well. So you can see here, company name, product, VA name, and then the job title, so VA researcher. We talk about the salary, so how much they're going to get paid and how frequently, and also the dates, the job expectation, the benefits. We also talk about key performance indicators. We talk about, put in the name of the company and the client. Again, this is a great template to use. And also we talk about how they need to be in their actions. And then also disclosure of information, which is really important, and intellectual property, and then data protection, confidentiality and restrictions. You've got a lot in there. And then also termination, how we terminate what we do. And then finally, disciplinary grievance and suspension. So we highlight all of the errors or issues in there that we could have, which is going to make it easy that if we have any problems, here's the process we go through, which was outlined in the contract when we first started. And then finally, what we're looking for is the VA to sign it, and obviously we'd sign it before we send it as well. And if you want to know right now, what's really good is actually in Google Docs, you can actually do signing there, or you can use one of the free online signing platforms as well. That can be really helpful. So your VA is now being interviewed, they've accepted the job, and now they're about to start. So how do you start the onboarding process? Well, for us, what we really like to do, and the way I found it's been really helpful, is quite simple, just create an onboarding guide. And that onboarding guide contains 2 key parts. One is a calendar. It's basically a calendar of how they should allocate their time. And you can see right here, this is one that we've created previously for an admin VA. And what I do is I basically outline hours 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And so I'm basically outlining exactly what they should be doing in each hour of every day. Now, this is an ideal guide of where they should be getting to, but it just gives them a really good framework to get started and to think about how they should be spending their time. Now, on top of this, we'll also have what's known as a KPI assessment sign-off sheet. In that original 40 hours working week, it's going to have lots of tasks that need to be done. Each of those tasks are going to be in here, which is the KPI checklist, and then each task is going to have a link to probably the process of how to do it. And on that process, it'll have the videos, for example, like we talked about previously, the SOPs, so that they can see what they need to do, when they need to do it, and how it needs to be completed. And the whole point is we just want to make sure they are set up, ready to go, and know how to spend their time. Now, on top of this as well, what we are looking to do is we'll probably set up tools like TeamLogger, which is a time tracking software, and we love this software because it's only $1 per user per month, which is amazing, and we time track all of our VAs. And again, this does screenshots, activity levels, so absolutely love it. And then on top of that, we will also have regular check-ins as part of the process, as part of the onboarding and getting them up to speed. Now let's talk about managing and supporting our VAs. One of the biggest failures most people have is that they don't support their new members of staff in the best possible way. So let me share some top tips with you that have worked with me for the hiring that we've done. Now, what we do within our business every single week, we have a regular check-in. So first of all, I'll have a regular weekly meeting, generally on a Monday, which outlines where the business is at and what work needs to be done. But also during the week as well, as part of the VA's onboarding process, I'll also have regular check-ins. Now, a general rule of thumb that I have is that you will continue to see me until the calls start becoming a little bit useless, i.e. there are no questions, no problems that need answering, and then I'll reduce the frequency of those calls down. But what I will generally do, maybe in the first week, is at least once every day, if not maybe twice a day, just to get your VA on track and make sure they know exactly what's going on. I'll go through all of the processes that they've done and just make sure that they fully understand how to do everything to standard, and I'll check all the work they've done to make sure it's being completed to standard. That's so important. Now, one of the key things that I do is not only showing them how to do the work, but I also get them to show me how they're doing the work, because a lot of the times they might misunderstand something and not actually do it to the right standard. So getting them to show me how it works is really important. Now, on top of this, I'll also be really positive, giving them really positive feedback and reinforcing the areas that need to happen, but also being constructive as well with feedback that maybe they have areas that they need to improve, and I'll hold those high standards to start with. Now, let's talk about tracking work progress. Now, within my business, we have a regular reporting schedule. So when they come in, they're going to say hi on the group chat in our chat software, and then when they finish, they say goodbye. But then not only that, they also have to give daily updates on the work that they're doing, and in some of the processes, they'll have those updates as well. So for me, I'm able to track progress or processes every single day, but also as well, if we have tasks, we can use things like Trello or Monday.com, but just having regular communication is really key, and it just helps me to understand what's going on. Now, the other area that I really like to look at within our business is bonuses. And again, I'm going to share with you a bonus that we have right now. So you can see this right here. This is our medium VA bonus. So what we have is when our sourcers go out and find products, when we sell those products, they're going to make profits for the company. And in turn, we reward them with a financial incentives to say, you've helped the company out, we'll reward you. So again, this bonus scheme is documented, really easy to access, and that it's really easy to reference for the VA to know how it works, but also for us to give them information that's going to help them out as well. So let's talk about some of the common challenges and solutions that you can be thinking about when hiring. So in my time in hiring VAs, what are the biggest problems that we've seen? Well, first of all, language barrier. You might have someone who seems really keen, but if they can't understand you, communication is going to be really hard. And working remotely is hard enough as it is. If they can't understand the language barrier, that's generally a reason for us to say, no, we're not going to hire. Or if maybe we did a wrong hire to start with, we'd let them go. Now, the second one is VAs managing multiple clients. What we found is that it just doesn't really work. If you have a specific work that takes a specific amount of time, okay, maybe a part-time VA will work. But generally speaking, you want full-time VAs who are going to work only for you, and we don't allow our VAs to work with multiple clients. We feel that it's not right and that they need to be focusing on our business. We're the ones hiring them. Now, you also have problems around finding VAs, we say, who are struggling to think critically. And a big challenge around this is they're not able to make good decisions. So what we try and do in this situation is think about what is the role we're looking for. So if we are looking for someone to just be a doer, they just get the work done, but they don't really need to make many decisions, then that's fine, not a problem. But if we're looking for people who make decisions, we'll really interview for that and we'll really try and understand. But not only that, we'll also give them guidance and abilities to think about how we've solved previous problems that maybe they need to think about solutions for as well. So again, we'll use that during the interview. And again, I come back to the old saying that I said, I cannot work with you until I've worked with you. Now, another key challenge I see with a lot of clients that have worked with VAs is they're just not clear about expectations. Now, for us in our business, we're very clear about when you've got to arrive, how many hours you've got to work, even like being on time for meetings. We have to be 3 minutes late. That's it. Otherwise, you're too late. Now, all these things are really, really important, and we call them standards. We have really high standards. And in those first 3 months when we start with VAs, we are setting the standards as high as possible, and we're not budging on them. We want to know that that VA can operate to this standard and they are going to be able to operate within the company that we expect. So they operate to a high standard. Now, what do we also look for when we're hiring VAs is that direction and really coachability. One of the biggest things that we find a problem is that when clients ask a VA to do something, they don't go and do it, or they'll make you continue to make the same mistakes. So what we're looking for is, do they continue to repeat mistakes? Do they not listen to instruction? And this is red flags for us, and we'll probably not continue the employment with them. But it's something to really think about. Again, have high standards. Now, the final thing I will add is hiring VAs is one hell of a lot of work. And what you've probably seen right now is this video has gone on for a while, and we've been talking about all the bits. And all of these things I've just generally kind of talked about, but there's so much more detail to them. And if you get it wrong, it has a big impact on your business. Not only time spent in hiring the wrong candidate, but also the impact on your business not getting the right results, and then obviously having to go through the whole process again when you figure out that VA is not right for you. So what's the solution? What can you do? Well, if you are looking to hire a VA for your Amazon business, then what I'd strongly recommend you do is have a call with us at the FastTrackFBA VA Academy. We've hired over 1,000 sourcing VAs for over 500 clients over the last 5 years, and we are really good at finding amazing candidates, filtering them down, training them to a really high standard, and supporting them with our clients to get results. And what does this mean? It means that you're able to scale your business, get deals on autopilot, and we're so confident in our ability to do it that if you are not happy or satisfied with your VA for any reason within the first 12 weeks, we'll replace that VA for a new one, and you can do it for whatever reason you like, and you can continue to replace your VA if you're still not satisfied. We've helped out hundreds of Amazon sellers supporting their business to scale to 6 and 7 figures, and we are known for doing this. We've got over 250 5-star reviews. So check us out, and you can book a call down below and check out the FastTrackFBA VA Academy and see obviously what we offer and see how we can help you today. To wrap it all up, where are we at? VAs are amazing. They can change the game. At a fundamental level, a VA is a member of staff. It's someone's going to help you in your business. So what do you want to be thinking about is not rushing into doing the first step, thinking about the whole of the actions in this video, really think about what is the role, what do we need to hire for, and then getting that right. Think about how you need to do the training for it, and then go out and actually hire the right person and make sure you're doing the correct hiring process, onboarding process, and holding the standards, and even incentivizing them with things like the bonus scheme, which we provide to our clients as well. So hiring a VA can change the game, can help you scale your business. And again, in my business, we've managed to scale our business to over 100,000 a month, and using just a few VAs to make this happen, while I only work a few hours per week. Now, again, if you're interested, have a look at the link down below, and obviously check out the FastTrackFBA VA Academy and all the documents I talked about previously. Is going to help you out. Now, the final one you might be thinking about is what kind of results can you get from a sourcing VA? Well, I'll share a video around here where we actually talk about the exact results that we expect as a minimum for sourcing VAs costing $3 per hour. And I think you're going to be blown away by how much profit they can generate your business every single month. So check out that video around there, and thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this video right now and you're struggling with a VA, do drop down your issues you're having. Maybe I can help you out. Put it in the comments down below, and I'll see if I can help you as well.